Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7. We're back with one of our track guides. This week we are at Bathurst in Group 3, BOP on, racing hard tyres and default setup, so no setup changes allowed. Now I am using the Subaru WRX for my track guide because I actually think this car is nicer to drive around this track. I actually really enjoy the way it handles, I love the feel of it. And yeah, I think this car's got extremely high potential at getting a very fast lap time. Now, I've managed to get myself into the top 10 stars with this guide. So hopefully I can help you get a little bit faster and manage to get yourselves, even if it's half a second faster, a full second faster. It's always great to read the comments. So let me know in the comments if this does help you. And make sure you give it a like if it helps improve your lap time. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. It's all very grateful and it means a lot to me because I do this for a job. So let's go on with the track guide. So into the final corner, obviously try and get a good solid exit. Now I was actually on a lap here, so I didn't really concentrate on getting the best exit. So you can see I was just trying to take as much speed through the corner as possible. So into turn one, we're going to look for the lamppost on the right hand side. Now that is going to be our braking point. Maybe just a fractioning past it, you can see there as the braking input goes in, and we're going to go downshifting to third gear. Now as we go down through the gears in third gear, we're going to start trail braking at about this point here, and we're going to start throwing this car into this apex. Now you want to get the left hand side to almost skim the curb on the left, so you can see as we get into the curb, you can see throttle inputs going in and accelerate. This is so important. You want to use the full width of the track all the way to the right hand side if necessary. Try and avoid the grass obviously, but use as much track as available and get as much exit speed as possible. Now one thing to note on this combination is the time of day I think does have an influence on your lap time. So maybe I think between lap 3 and lap 7 is quite optimal for overall lap time. That seems to be where you're at your quickest. So now into the next braking reference, we're braking in between this pit where that little bit of grey tarmac is on the left, just before the end there. We're on the brakes in between the 150 board, and we're going to go trail braking into this right hand corner. Now we're going to go down into third gear. You're going to see as we come off the trail braking there into the corner, into third gear, try and get the right hand tyre as close to this curb on the right hand side as possible. Then we're going to put the throttle down as aggressively as we can, using as much track width again as possible to carry as much speed up this hill as possible. Now we're into this tricky corner. This is a very, very tricky corner. You want to get the car thrown into this left apex, really hugging it as much as you can, but then you're going to swing the car out. So as we get into the apex, onto the brakes there, just as we're close to the wall, onto the brakes nice and early. And now at this point, you're going to get the car over to the right hand side and let it swing in as much as you physically can. Now, you got to be very careful at this because you see we're over to the right hand side, trail braking all the way into the corner. You can see that trail braking going on, and then as we get it rotated, we're up into third gear here. And at this point here, you want to keep your left hand tyre as close to the wall on the left as possible and on the throttle as early as possible. Now I did lose over a tenth there because I didn't get on the throttle early enough. However, I got quite a smooth exit and we gained about half a tenth to a tenth back. So not a massive amount of loss there, but a little bit of loss of time. Now into this right hand corner, this is all about just lifting off the throttle. You're not going to get on the brakes for this right hand corner. It's just a little bit of lift off the throttle, let the car coast in, then back on the throttle, and we're going to keep playing with that throttle until we're right on the edge of the wall there. And now we're powering our way into this really fast flowing section at the top of the hill at Bathurst. So at this point here, you're going to be trying to swing the car in from the right hand side. So use the full width of the track. You can see how we're going all the way up to the boarding on the right hand side. That's because we want to swing this car in. Use the curb on the left hand side. So left hand tyre, you can get it on that curb. Now just be careful you don't take too much because it will unsettle the car, but you can really take a lot of that curb. And then just be careful you don't hit the wall on the right hand side. Now into this next corner, you're going to again throw it in. You see, just lifting off the throttle here, letting the car coast in, and we want to get it into the apex. You can see we're trying to get really tight into this wall on the left hand side. Keep playing with that throttle. You can see I'm messing with the throttle until I feel the grips there. Use the full width for the track, and now we're going on the downhill section, which we're going to brake just before this Audi R8 bulb. Now you need to brake quite a bit before it. That's the best reference I can give. Just make sure you're braking before it. So as we play it, you can see braking reference going in there. Nice distance before the Audi R8 bulb. And now we're going to be aiming to get the right hand tyre as close to the wall on the right side as possible. Now trail braking all the way down this hill. You can see the braking inputs never at 100%, just constantly fluctuating. And now at this point, we're off the throttle and the brake and letting the car rotate at this point because we've got the car settled. And then when we're back into the apex there, back on the brakes briefly before getting onto this throttle because we want to attack this corner. You can take a lot of this curb off this corner. If you get it right, take a lot of the curb off and then straight line as much as possible, complete throttle down, and now you're working your way down into one of the most important corners on the track. This is so important, this corner. I actually nailed it on this lap. Now you're going to brake at the end of where the black bit of walling on the right hand side starts there, that's pretty much your reference where you're going to brake. You see braking inputs going in, and you want to aim to keep the car to the right hand side of the track because you want to get rotating in from the right hand side. So keeping the car to the right. Now we're going to really attack this corner. This is all about being smooth but getting on the throttle early. So you can see braking inputs going in down to second gear. We almost get a bit of a drift going here. Then we're going to upshift to third gear early and on the throttle aggressively at that point where we go up to third gear. Now just look at the exit speed I managed to get from this. Look at the delta. Absolutely nailed that corner and got really good exit speed all the way down the straight. This probably made this lap into the top 10 stars just because of that one corner. Now we're going to power our way into the next braking reference zone, which is obviously you don't really need to brake for this right hand corner. This is flat out this first part, so do not lift at this point. Keep the car to the right hand side, and then you're looking for the 150 board on the right hand side. Now you're going to be braking just fractionally past or dead level with that. You can see there, just past it for myself. We're going to go down through the gears, as quite aggressively through the gears here, down to fourth, down to third. And now we're going to try and get the car trail braking into this next left-hand corner. So you want to hit the car really into the curb. So you can see left-hand tyre hit the curb slightly there. Just be careful, don't hit it too hard because it will unsettle the car. And then as soon as you're back onto the throttle, you almost on the throttle as you hit the curb there. Early upshift to fourth gear just to settle the car down. And be careful you don't run all the way wide on the exit there. Now into the final corner using the 100 board, although I will brake in between a little bit past 100 board, a little bit in between the 50 and 100. You can see there, just past 100 board, and then down through the gears. Again, this corner is very important. You're going to go down into second gear, but as I come into the apex of the corner, you're going to see I'm trail braking in. I'm going to go up into third gear before we get on the power. So up into third gear, on the power, smoother exit speed, and then it avoids that the gear shift on the exit as well. So then we're going to go over the line on a 2 minutes flat 0.2. So 2 minute 0.2, pretty solid lap, pretty happy with that. That made us into the top 10 stars at this point of doing the video. We're probably going to be out of that within a few hours or whatever, but still we made it into the top 10 stars on the Tuesday. So a very solid lap. Hopefully that'll be good enough pretty much to do most of our racing through the week if we're going to race from the front. But let's watch the lap again from the chase camera, and again you're going to see what I'm talking about with regards to carrying the speed through the corners and then upshifts as well. The early upshifts really help at this track. So again, as we come through here, you can see staying in third gear, and as we work our way up this hill, again, you're going to see that early upshift to third gear rather than revving out second gear on this tight left-hand corner. Very important just to get it into third gear. So you can see we go down to second, but look at the third gear. Third gear, nice and early, just smooths out the acceleration all the way up this hill here. If you did it in second gear, your rear will be spinning around and you'll just lose so much time. So yeah, that will gain you a lot of time, that alone, just getting that gearing right. Through here, again, using the full width for the track, using the curb on the left, again, being careful you don't hit the wall, and really hugging this left-hand wall, keep it nice and tight to the wall there. And then through this downhill section, it's all about that braking, keeping the foot on the brake to stabilise the car. You can see that braking input constantly going in, letting the car rotate, and then taking a lot off the corner off there. That will really gain you a lot of time if you get that right, because then you're on the power nice and early and you'll gain 2 temps easily. This final corner is so important again. Look at the drift, up to third gear as we got traction. Pretty much perfect. I don't think I could do that as well. That was pretty much as good as I can do that corner. And now we're working our way down the hill and then into that final chicane before the final corner. So again, into this corner, you're going to see with the curb on the left-hand tyre, just grazing that curb. Again, don't be too aggressive on the curb. You're going to see it as we come into the braking point, braking on that 150. Onto the left-hand corner, we skim the curb with our left-hand tyre, not too aggressive though, and then that early upshift again to fourth gear there, really important to get the exit speed there, and then same for this final corner. That second to third gear shift will really help you find a lot of time. It'll gain you a tenth just on exit speed. So you see the early upshift to third, saves changing gear on the exit, and then we're over the line for a pretty solid lap there, 2 minute lap. So yeah, hopefully this will help you out. Let me know in the comment section if it does. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And yeah, hit that notification button so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks again for watching, everyone. I'll be back with more live streams and videos soon. Bye, everyone.